Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Travis, and today we're going to be listening to 1OK Rock Delusion All. Now, this is the latest 1OK Rock song. I think it came out yesterday. Yeah, I'm excited. I love 1OK Rock. It's I would say my third favorite Japanese band, so I'm anxious to get into it.
If we divide, no one will listen to you. We gotta stand up and draw a line. It's time to fall back or shoot. Why does it feel like they don't feel anything? I believe there's a future behind those walls. Maybe I'm delusional. Let's make a deal. Pretend this past it democracy is just how we want it, and we're not exhausted. Maybe we're delusional. We're all the fucking delusional. When everything's supposed to happen for a reason, and every talking head expects you to believe them. All we don't need them, we have a kingdom. We know the amount that we have shared was never even. Why does it feel like they don't feel anything? I believe there's a future behind those walls. Maybe I'm delusional. Let's make a deal. Pretend this past it democracy is just how we want it, and we're not exhausted. I know, in order to be free, you gotta let go. But know that once you do, that's when the take home. Everything's very loving. Whoa, so why does it feel like they don't feel anything? I pray there's a future behind those walls. Maybe I'm delusional. Let's make a deal. Pretend this past it democracy is just how we want it, and we're not exhausted. Maybe we're delusional. Maybe we're delusional. We are delusional.
You know, I think this really gives me a similar vibe to Renegades. This really seems like it's kind of a continuation of that, in a sense that the common people are kind of just fed up. Like, what gives me the idea is all these people eating their fancy dinners and all that stuff. It really makes me feel like these are kind of like the 1%, or, you know, politicians, people that live a quality of life that the normal person will never experience. You know, the people that the rules don't necessarily apply to. Celebrities, politicians, they're fed up, they're wanting to tear down the system when it came to Renegades. So I guess maybe in the sense that their voices aren't being heard. And what I also picked up is kind of all these people that are just, you know, they're shouting about like standing up and stuff of that nature, and all these people are kind of just walking by, not necessarily caring. A lot of us feel the same way about something, but we're all so like disconnected. We're all scattered all over the place. You have one or two voices here, one or two voices there. It doesn't really mean much, you know what I mean? Because they're not all, you know, as one. And so I think this is just a day-to-day person not really caring about the message because you're not shouting it loud enough. One person isn't a voice that's loud enough. It needs to be everybody together. When everybody comes together like this, in a sense, now maybe this isn't the best way of going about it, you know, destroying stuff, rioting, for example. I mean, it's really kind of just who you are as a person, which, you know, what way you think is the best way to go about it. It's kind of when everybody comes together in a sense, things kind of start happening to where their voice is amplified enough, their actions are amplified enough to where, okay, now these one percenters or these politicians or these people that live a life we could never imagine living start having to take notice because, like one person couldn't flip that car. But you see, when people come together, things that one individual couldn't do is now possible. So I think that's kind of just generally the meaning is like come together, let your voices be heard as one. I know I'm just really kind of going on a tangent. I don't, I'm going to get into the lyrics and really try to see what this is about. They'll conquer us if we divide. No one will listen to you. We got to stand up and draw a line. It's time to fall back or shoot. And that's just what I'm saying is when all these voices are scattered all over the place, nobody cares. Your voice isn't loud enough. I'm going to base this all of my opinion on like American politics. For us, are you on the left? Are you on the right? Are you in the middle? And unfortunately, everybody puts themselves into tribes, for example. Oh, the left hates the right hates the left. Oh, your Samsung, oh, your iPhone, well, iPhone's better than Samsung. Oh, no, iPhone is overpaid junk, it's Samsung products, so on and so forth. Like, people always put themselves into all these different boxes, and when you are always sticking to all these different boxes, all these different tribes, and separating yourself, and what I'm saying is generally when you divide yourselves into all these different tribes, it's hard to come together as one big group, be a big enough voice for those people in the upper echelon to be able to hear us. We got to stand up and draw a line. It's time to fall back or shoot. This is the line we're going to draw in the sand, and we have to either stand up and be strong and stick to that, and that's my interpretation of shoot, or we just have to allow them to walk over us and just fall back and just be like one of those people that are just walking around not caring. Why does it feel like they don't feel anything? I pray there's a future behind those walls, but maybe I'm delusional. I would say I kind of sometimes get that idea from like the top 1% or like politicians, for example. Like politicians, for example, they make decisions that will affect a lot of individuals. When you have lobbying, for example, which I think is a really terrible thing in politics, and now I don't get into politics, I don't like to read the news and none of that stuff. When these big businesses that are rich can influence politicians' decisions with, lump sums of money, and these politicians will go along with what those big businesses say, just so those politicians can get said money, you kind of think, like, where is your morality? You're going to make a decision based off what a big business wants, just for some money that will negatively impact a lot of people. So you really kind of question where their heart is, if they're out for themselves, or like, do you even care about the people that put you in that position? Like, do you care about those people that voted for you? Do you care about the common man? And a lot of time, most of us feel that the politicians are failing us, like they don't care. They don't feel anything. Let's make a deal. Pretend this bastard democracy is just how we want it. And we're not exhausted, but maybe we're delusional. We're all fucking delusional. Yeah, I really think this song is definitely a continuation of Renegades. So let's pretend that the current system is the system that we want. And I think that is kind of what all those people that are walking around with umbrellas and stuff, walking past the band, is kind of doing. They're just pretending everything is okay. They're just being a good little sheep. They're just following whatever, the top 1% wants. Like, the system is screwed up and the system isn't what you want, but you're just going to pretend that it is. When everything's supposed to happen for a reason and every talking head expects you to believe them. But we don't need them. We are the kingdom. We know the amount that we have shared was never even. Yeah, and every talking head expects you to believe them. Yeah, that's definitely politicians right there. I think every individual knows these politicians will say whatever they say to get into office, and then the moment they get into office, nothing changes. Nothing ever happens that they say they're going to do. They just sell you a sweet lie, and then they get voted in, and then they become like everybody else. But we don't need them. We are the kingdom. I think what he is talking about is we don't need politicians to speak for us. We're the people, we're the constituents, we can speak for ourselves. If everybody comes together, we're going to be a voice that is so loud, they're going to have to hear what we got to say. We know the amount that we have shared was never even. Or what I think my interpretation might be is the fact that we, the normal people, always seem to be giving up more than those 1%. That the 1% never really seems to have to give up anything, but the normal common person does. I know in order to be free, you gotta let go. But know that once you do, that's when they take hold. Everything's fair in love and war. I'm thinking by let go, they're talking about letting go of this voice that you have, letting go of this desire to stand up and voice your opinion. You can be free of all that stress, all that hardship, all that exhaustion if you just let go of that voice, that opinion that you want to shout from the rooftops. But know that once you do, that's when they take hold. Once you let go of that voice that you have, that's when they take hold. That's when they silence you. That's when you become one of those people walking around in umbrellas, ignoring the ban, just walking around like a good sheep, just accepting whatever it is that 1%, the system, the government wants you to do. That's when you just become like everybody else. That's when you become silenced. It generally seems like a song that is telling you to have that voice, to come together as a group, to voice your opinion, let that 1% know, let that people in government know how you feel. We, the people, are the people that are the kingdom, not these politicians, not these talking heads. You are the voice that these talking heads should be speaking for. And clearly those speaking heads are failing in their job, so we, the people, have to kind of take back the power. We, the people, have to come together and let our voices be heard and let the people, those talking heads, understand that we will not be silenced. We will be strong. We will, going back to Renegades, we'll tear down the system and build anew. If you don't speak for us, we'll get you out and we'll put somebody in there that will speak for us. A little bit more political, but I don't pretend to understand how the Japanese system is. I feel, generally speaking, that regardless of what country, government inevitably always leads to the same thing. It always gets too big. It always becomes out to benefit itself. And the normal people that have helped build this system, our voices get shut out. We the people have to remind those 1%, those people in government, those politicians, that we're not going to be silenced. We're going to have our voices heard. You might think you're invincible, but you're not. We the people are the foundation to this whole system, and without a foundation, everything crumbles. Yeah, that's my interpretation. I like this song. I love this band, man. I really do. It's my third favorite band. I definitely want to see them in concert. Definitely on my bucket list. But yeah, definitely let me know the next 1OK song that you want me to react to. Of course, you guys know that whenever this band uploads a new song, I'm going to be right there for a reaction. So let me know your interpretation. Let me know just generally the Japanese government, if there are parallels to the American government, so on and so forth, the system. Just let me know your interpretation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.